I guess I'm doing the intro today. Hello, and thank you for watching the Distract3d Podcast. This is your host, Tristan, and we're apparently coughing. I feel like I'm at the doctor's office.
Excuse me, sir. Can you open your mouth and say,
Hachu.
Why do I picture you going to the doctor and then like open your mouth and say, and you just go,
Oh, dude, that'd be horrible. You like choke on the little stick thing. Like,
When was the last time? Okay, also we have Connor here.
Yes,
today,
yeah, we have Connor here.
And we have a topic, but before that, when was the last time you went to the doctor and they like actually stuck something in your mouth when they do that?
Probably the last time I had strep throat.
That's fair.
Actually, anytime I go to the dentist.
Okay, but
Dentist count, yeah.
do they have you say at your dentist?
I mean, depends on. I mean, not really, but you asked when was the last time they stuck something in my mouth. So.
Oh, I was just saying like, when they say like it's open your mouth and say when was the last time they like put the stick in your mouth? Because I don't.
It has been a while, but I know it's happened recently.
Why do they put the stick in your mouth? It's to
hold
keep your tongue down, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, they just like to watch you choke.
Like here, have this piece of wood. It tastes
it's like the quote
It's very
from.
It's
like,
full of good protein. There's some ants in there. Very good for you.
It's like that quote from The Dark Knight, or the Dark. It was Dark Knight.
One of
It's The Dark Knight where he's like, some men just want to watch the world burn. Some doctors just want to watch you choke. You know, just.
I took a vow never to hurt anyone, but I really want to choke this guy. Doctor, what happened to your patient? I don't know. I was going through the normal procedure and he just choked to death. It couldn't possibly be this wooden popsicle stick thing. Oh my gosh. If any doctor listens to this, they're going to be like, these guys are so dumb.
I wonder which came first, the thing to hold the tongue down or the popsicle stick.
Popsicle stick. I'm confident in that.
And then one day a doctor was eating one, and they're like, "Keep your tongue down. You know what?"
It's like a kid. They're like, "Hold up. What was that in your mouth?" I don't know why they'd be like.
It's like,
what is that?
Hey, that actually works. Hey, Bobby!
I bet that was like something that they came up with at like prisons first though.
At prisons first.
Yeah, because you know like how you know Houdini, like the Great Escape Artist. He did a thing where he escaped from prison once because he like swallowed a key and had it in his throat. So I wonder if they did that there first to check that. I don't know. I'm gonna look this up.
if for any reason, if it would start at a prison, if for any reason, I would think it would be because at one point they would stick their finger in the mouth and hold the tongue down with a glove on, but then prisoners would bite on them, so they would decide to hold it down with.
Yeah. What is the origin?
I don't know.
What the heck would you call that?
The tongue holder downer stick.
I think they really gotta work on that name.
The Dr. Popsicle Stick.
Dr. Stick.
The Docsicle Stick. See, this is kind of the randomness that we have in the podcast here, so.
The first thing that shows up is a Psychology Today article, and it's got the picture of Einstein where he's going,
right.
What? This is not what. What does it mean when a guy sticks out his tongue?
That depends on the culture, I guess.
Oh, here it is. Tongue depressors are exactly what a thin wooden plank, so they're called tongue depressors.
Oh, duh. I knew
Used to flatten out the tongue so the physician or dentist is able to get a more clear look at the upper throat area. They look for redness, swelling, and coating on the back of the throat. As for alright, so origin of tongue depressor.
Yeah.
It's a depressing name. Thank you. You're welcome.
Okay. Oh, boy.
I've been hanging around with Tristan too long. No, not definition. I want origins.
Definition of tongue depressor.
We just learned that.
A stick that holds down the tongue.
Origin tongue depressor. Get the etymology of tongue depressor.
Oh, they came from the American Civil War, apparently.
Huh.
That's
Interesting.
very interesting. Let's
Still
see.
think it's so I bet then it was before popsicles.
Yeah, 100%.
They're just like
I was wrong.
tongue depressors. What
You
if
know
we
what
put
goes
ice
around
cream
this?
on this? Right.
Sometimes
what if we made
called,
these a little more pleasant to put in your mouth?
sometimes called craft sticks or popsicle sticks.
Right.
Stick
like
bombs? What's a
Some doctor
stick
would rather
bomb?
finish popsicle at the end of it. Ha!
You can make a stick bomb with them. Is a mechanical spring-load device constructed out of flat sticks woven together under a bending moment. What does this do?
It's a stick bomb, bro.
They're fun
Obviously.
in art, not
I've
for
seen-
practical use.
You've seen videos of those.
Oh,
Essentially just
It's-
throw sticks everywhere.
it's that's what it is. It's one of these things.
For
Yeah.
what purpose
It's
though?
literally just
Oh,
it's-
those things.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, when you set it up like
Yeah,
kind of like the
like-
dominoes, but
yeah.
yeah, okay.
At first I was like, that sounds awesome. I want to make one of those.
Have you ever seen the America's Got Talent where some guy set up like this really big thing and then it didn't work?
No. I've never seen
God.
it.
Just in the middle.
What did
and he
do?
would run up and like try to get it to go again and it wouldn't go still.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my
and,
gosh.
And they were like, yeah, it's gonna be a no.
Oh my
Why would you
goodness.
bring that talent to America's Got Talent anyway? It's
Dominoes?
no,
What
the
was it?
Probably
It was
the
the
other
sticks?
50
The
times to try
sticks.
it worked.
yeah,
Oh, the sticks.
It
yeah,
was the sticks?
Yeah,
How is that a talent?
I don't know.
That's literally like, hey, look at how I put all these dominoes out and make a cool picture with them. It's like, that's cool, but you just kind of memorize a pattern.
Well,
I
it's not
guess.
even putting a picture. It's not even making a picture. It was just
It's just
like
saying what's sticking.
dominoes, but
I don't
it's just sticks instead. So now that we've talked about tongue depressors for 8 minutes, let's get into our topic for today.
No, I say we talk about tongue depressors the whole time. It seems like a very interesting
I
topic.
think we need a tongue depressor to use on Finn right now.
So, because it didn't say what they were used for originally, but I wonder if it's kind of like, you know how you, like there's biting down
Bite
on a
on
piece
it,
of wood
yeah.
or whatever. I wonder if that's where it originated from. Like they kind of took that and were like, what if we,
Because
you know, to look at the back of the
because
throat.
they would bite on their tongue possibly.
Yeah.
If they're biting down, that could be
I don't know.
interesting.
I'm not a
I don't know.
medic. Not the doctor.
I mean, I know first aid, but I don't know the origins of the tongue depressor. Okay,
I don't know.
so
That seems like the most important part any doctor should know. Cause,
the origins of their tools.
yeah, 100%. It's like, what if it was used? I don't know. It's like, you know those. What they use to like scramble the brains for the mummies? It's like a scalpel, basically, right? Or not a scalpel, but like the hooks that
yeah.
dentists use.
Yeah.
That's all I can think of when at the dentist and they're doing that. I'm like,
Please no, please no, please
just
no.
not the nose, not the nose, not the nose.
Dude, I love
Oh
how
my
when you're at
gosh.
dentists, like, they start reaching your mouth, you know, and they're like, so how's your day? And you're like, good? And they're like, please stop talking.
You're like, you asked the question.
And they keep asking questions, and it's like, try to keep your mouth still. It's like, it's the worst.
You would think, as a doctor of the mouth, they'd be like, oh yeah, to respond, they gotta move their mouth.
But I feel like they do that on purpose, though. I
Probably.
feel like they do that on purpose. Because they're just like, well, let's see how many people.
You know what else is really
Punk.
stupid at dentists is like, you know, they do the they really dig in there with the things and totally scrape your gums, and they're like, oh yeah, you have gum disease because your gums are bleeding. You ever had that happen? Where they just really dig into the gums? It's like, you literally stabbed me 35 times. I saw a comic the other day, and it was it had a sword and was doing it, and then it was a bus on that was a chainsaw. It's like, yeah, you got gum disease. Oh man, that's what it feels like. It's like they're out for you. They want you to get gum disease. Yeah, I wonder where I got it from.
Anyway,
Reminds
the old comedian Eddie Izzard yet. It's like with chiropractors trying to get bones cracked. You get that one that just can't, so just wrench in there.
It really does feel like that.
Make the noise, damn you.
No wonder when doctors look in with the tongue depressor, they're like, let me just shove it in to swell up your throat a little bit. Oh, you have strep throat now.
they're like,
what's
get
the
in
limit
there.
of how far I can go with this thing before we can get them done?
This is for science.
They get in there. They start flicking it up, hitting
Oh.
your uvula.
Oh.
They start hitting your uvula.
Oh.
They're like, yep, you got strep throat, man.
That sounds
Sorry.
so painful. That sounds worse. You know when you get chips stuck in the back of your throat,
Yeah.
a little bit. That sounds worse than that.
Well,
and that's
I
bad.
mean, tongue depressors aren't sharp, but it was still.
No, but just the feeling of it.
Yeah.
Kind of I can't think of it, but it's the thing I thought of.
Unpleasant.
No, not unpleasant, but I was thinking of something to describe it as, because there are other things you do, and it's it doesn't hurt per se, but it feels really weird, and you're like, I don't like that.
Uvula is kind of like the privates of the mouth.
You know,
To be
No.
fair.
wrong.
Yeah. So.
No.
And this whole topic reminds me of Operation. That's a fantastic transition
Whoa,
into our
that
topic
segue.
for today.
That segue.
That's a
though.
little segue right there, yep.
That was totally not a crappy segue. So, for our topic for today will be, you guessed it,
Uvulas.
Operation. No.
Oh.
So video games. No, just board games. Okay. Anyway. So.
I mean, with tabletop simulator these days, especially in quarantine, they're
yeah.
kind of one and the same now.
That's fair. That's fair. No, it's actually really cool how they're allowing distanced, playing of board games, through things such as
Through the power of technology.
Yes, the power of technologies, and tabletop simulator. I mean, you have, of course, it's more of a party game, but you have the Jackbox party packs and everything.
It's not a board game per se. That's a party game.
Yeah, it is a party game, but I mean, so
I definitely think there's a difference between a board game and a party game.
Yeah.
Because it's Quelf is a party game.
Yeah.
That involves
There is a board in it, but it's a party game, 100%.
Yeah.
Whereas Monopoly, I'm just kidding, we're not talking about Monopoly. We don't talk about that game.
Breaks friendships, breaks families.
I have never finished a game of Monopoly because it takes so
Are you serious?
flippin' long.
Dude, I finished multiple. We my
I am
older
sorry
brother-
for your loss of time.
my
Risk is right there. Well, Ken,
Oh,
be right
that's
there.
fair.
Heck yeah.
That's
Our
fair.
Axis and Allies. Whew.
Yeah.
That's
you
a
get,
long one.
You get those games where it's it's just the two of you left, but each of you keep capping each other's things, and so perfectly that you're getting the same amount of guys each turn. So it's this. It's almost like a circle of capturing each other's continents and stuff. But
You're saying you and your brother Monopoly?
my older brother had this what was it? It was Pokemon Monopoly, and it had instead of you would capture different creatures, different So that was pretty fun. But we used to play it
So wait a minute.
Quite
Does that
often.
make it like an underground black market of Pokemon trading?
I mean,
no, yeah, you'd have to buy them.
It's like,
yeah.
hey kid, you want this Pokemon? That'll run you about $4,000.
Shit, you might have trench coat.
The Resident Evil 4 guy.
Oh my gosh!
My elbows
a freaking
I have long
bomb.
arms.
And
That's
so,
the
but
police brigade.
if you go by that logic though, then stopping on another player's Pokemon would be like if you looked at a Pokemon, they're like, "Hey man, you owe me money." It's like
The Pokemon
you look
just
at him.
sitting there going like this.
I'm imagining that rock guy, the Geode or whatever.
Geodude?
Dude,
Freaking this
Geodude,
little
yeah.
boulder looking at you.
It's like,
Picturing the fight scene in Detective Pikachu, just the underground fight ring.
Oh right.
Just pay up, sucker.
like somebody choking the back over with a tire iron.
Man, Pokemon got dark.
Well, you're not wrong. If you read some of the descriptions of them,
Oh yeah, some of them are
Especially
pretty
nowadays.
dark.
Mm.
Woo.
I mean, the
Yeah.
origin of that one that was in Detective Pikachu is pretty dark.
Which one?
Yeah, which
The one that we think is the villain at the
Mewtwo?
beginning. Yeah.
He's just genetically created.
Well, I'm just saying, like the
far from the darkest one out there.
Oh yeah.
well, I'm just
What's
saying,
that
like,
one that's like a dead child, right?
Yeah.
What the
Like,
heck?
carries
Yeah.
carries a mask of a.
Oh, Cubone. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking
not
there's
Cubone.
another one that's like a dead spirit of a child or something, right?
That might be the one I'm referencing. I can't remember the.
I don't remember, but
Essentially, yeah, it's
I can, like,
ghost is carrying like a mask of its old face,
yeah,
and when it looks at it, it cries something like that.
yeah.
ooh, that is.
And then of course
messed
there's
up.
the Cubone
yeah,
that
dude.
has the skull of its dead mom and it wears it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's
Lovely.
it's pretty dark.
Children's game.
Yeah. Definitely.
Where things just get KO'd instead of dying.
Yeah.
Now a few moments of awkward silence as we try to
As we mourn
process
the loss.
what
we,
just
we mourn the loss of all the dead Pokemon we killed for XP. I mean, knocked unconscious.
big oof.
Insert sad music here.
Yeah.
Like
Speaking
that sad
of-
violin.
Have you heard of you probably both heard of Gloomhaven, right? The board game?
I've heard of it.
Heard of it.
Definitely talk to you about. But supposedly it's like board game that feels like a video game while playing it because it's so just the way it's designed. It's done in like a legacy game fashion where you play through it and stuff. You like put stickers on the board to show things and you write
Permanent.
Right.
permanent stuff. But it's done in a way that supposedly feels kind of like you're playing a video game, where you go from like town to town. There's quests. There's a whole big quest book, and like you start out picking a random character from a box, so you can't tell exactly what the character does. And then you unlock more stuff as you go on. Those characters can die, or you retire by completing your personal quests, stuff like that. It's supposedly pretty cool, and takes a long time. But just because we kind of got into video games there with Pokemon. That's all I got. That's all I got on the topic. I've never played it. That's all I got.
No, I was just like that little moment of silence afterwards. It was like this pregnant pause where we thought you were gonna say something else.
I know. That's like you both looked at I
we're
got nothing.
looking at you like. Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah.
Gloomhaven has an actual video game for the board game now, though. Yeah,
Really?
they made a
Hey, guys.
electronic version of it.
Hey guys, we created this board game that feels like a video game. Hey guys, we created this video game that feels like a board
Well,
game that feels like a
considering-
video game.
Well, considering Gloomhaven is like over $100 because it's huge. Like I'll look it up right now just to find. I believe the game is currently $25. It's in early access still. Is $140 on Amazon.
What the heck?
But it's like look how I saw it at TBS
For a
the other
legacy
day.
game.
It's huge though. Like the box.
Holy crap. Yeah.
The box is huge.
Dude, how sucky would that feel if you started a game with a group of guys, like we did with that one legacy game, and then you
Mhm.
never finish it? You
I
get
know.
like
I
two.
really want to finish Seafall too
Mm-hmm.
because I love it, but like here like the character boxes and stuff. Like there's that many.
Oh wow.
here's like a map and rulebook and a whole bunch of other stuff that's in it, plus all the different figures, and oh yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Do you prefer strategy or luck based games?
Strategy.
Depends on the day, really. Depends on the day, depends on the group.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think I prefer strategy. I mean, there's still a lot of luck that goes into strategy, but I think I prefer strategy overall.
See, what I don't like about luck, which is why I have a problem with playing card games, because there is a lot of strategy to them, but you feel like crap when you lose purely because your opponent drew something really, really perfect for the situation.
Right.
Which is why I like Gwent a lot, because...
Every game of Magic I've ever played.
Don't remind me.
Right.
It's honestly like, alright, I need one land card. I still need one land card.
5 turns later.
Still need
Hey,
one
there
land
it is.
card. Oh, I
Now you have
hate
the,
that.
The best build up to you think to win the game, and your opponent just draws that one perfect card
It's
that
like-
just wipes it.
It's like, oh my gosh, it's the worst feeling in the world. It's like, cool you had that card, and you can argue there's strategy to building the deck beforehand, but it doesn't feel like that when they just draw the card. But that's why I like Gwent, because in that, there are some cards that let you draw cards, but otherwise, the cards you have in your hand are what you have for that entire round. Until the next round when you draw a few more cards. Maybe you get what you want, but you don't know. That's why Gwent's my favorite one. Also, I just want to point out, looking at the back of the box on Amazon here, the time to play, it's a 1 to 4 player game, is 30 minutes per player. For one session, I'm assuming. Because I know for a fact it takes longer than 2 hours from what I have read. But yeah.
Have either of you played Dominion?
No, but I know what
I've
it
heard of
is. It's the deck building game, right?
Yeah. Yes. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Have you ever what is
Star
that?
Realms?
Star Realms.
Yeah, we played that.
Have you played Star Realms?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like Star Realms but big scale.
Yeah.
And so you have like I think it's somewhere around like 10 like cards that have certain abilities, like the regular cards, and then you have like of course you have your different income sources, like the
Well, there's
copper
also
piece, silver piece, gold piece.
in Dominion. Don't you build a deck to build from beforehand?
Yes, you can also do that. And so I play a lot with my buddy David and of course Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not a lot. We've played we've probably met up to play about 3 times, but we've played probably a dozen times. But so basically, he has a lot of expansions to the game, and you can mix any expansion,
Yeah.
and it gives you a guide of like, hey, these cards would work well together. But if you want to, you could be like, all right, we're gonna take this section out, and we're gonna go over here and take this section out. You could build your own deck to draw from.
Is your deck like a town in Dominion, right, or is it an army?
I think it's
Trying to remember
supposed
the
to be like a
thematic.
town, but I mean, I don't know. I think that's more of a flavor thing, but
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a lot of fun because you can build from like everywhere. I think it is supposed to be like a town though.
Really quick though, I want to point out. You want to guess how many cards Gloomhaven has? Last thing on Gloomhaven, but it's a lot. Are you cheating? Are you looking it up?
Oh no, I was looking at something else.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Guess how many cards? Can I guess just
Guess how many cards? 600.
1,700 plus.
That's what I said.
That's
Dang, that
nutty.
is freaking insane, dude. Actually.
It's nutty. But segueing with that again, did you play Arctic Scavengers with me?
Yes.
Have you played Arctic Scavengers?
I haven't heard of that one.
That, I think, is my favorite deck building game. Because it's, like, you
It is
have
fun.
a little colony in this post-apocalyptic Arctic, and you have, like, 3 rounds, so you get 3 turns to set up, get a few cards in your deck. And then after that, every round you fight over a resource card, a special one, that one player knows exactly what it is. Everyone else doesn't. And so then it becomes this, okay, I have these cards, some of them are good at fighting, maybe you don't. Do you spend those cards that are good at fighting to get better cards, or do you really want whatever's in the pile? And it's this really cool back and forth, because maybe I'm bluffing, holding back 2 cards that don't actually do anything for combat. Or maybe Tristan has 5 brawlers. I don't know why he would draw 5 brawlers, but he definitely could have them.
Ha.
Comedy. What?
just these like random awkward pauses.
That's how we do it. That's how this is done. We've never done this differently. Ever.
Again.
Case in point.
There. Right.
Wow. Also, can I talk about how I hate this stupid monk staff will not stay straight? I've been trying to keep it straight since I bought it, and it just... I don't know why.
That's very
Because it just...
awkward upper bend at the end of it.
Yeah. I feel like he just hit something really hard with it, and it just bent, and he's like, okay, whatever.
Wait.
I don't know how wood bends like that.
Who is this though?
That's just an extra one that I had.
Oh, is this a monk?
Yeah, it's a monk. It's an elven monk.
Okay, because that's elven. You don't have pointy ears.
I think it's half elven.
That would make
But-
more sense.
Also, it's hard to tell because there's a lot of hair on these guys.
I think I'm gonna be playing a grung monk. Frog type monk.
Do you get
I think I'll go like
extra
ninja
jumping
style. You
as
know?
a grunt?
Yes, you do.
Man, that sounds
You
like
can-
a
you can
awesome
jump.
idea.
You can jump 25 feet horizontally,
That's good.
and you can jump half your. I think it's half. Wait, I think it's half your movement speed horizontally, or 1/4 vertically. It's pretty cool.
Man,
And that's from
a frog-
standstill.
Frog ninja type monk. That's
Yeah.
like an awesome idea that's never been used before for anything.
Right? Not definitely not in flushed away, or is it that what it's called? Flushed away.
I've never seen it.
Or, you know, Pokemon.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
watch Pokemon, so I don't know.
Greninja.
There we go.
Oh, okay.
He has a
Oh.
tongue scarf.
I was thinking of what the heck?
His tongue is he wears it as a scarf.
Ew.
It's Greninja's awesome. Okay.
Pokemon is messed up, dude.
So would you go way in the
There's
Kensei?
a reason he's in Smash now, so.
Yeah. He's awesome. I think he's like the #1 Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he had, from my knowledge, in the what it would have been the X and Y series in the anime, he was like a really important Pokemon with Ash, and they did this thing where they like combined apparently and became like Ash Greninja. I didn't watch it, but my sister did, and so I'd walk by and see it, and like I'm gonna look it up right now.
So
Ash.
this here is saying that Gloomhaven is a dungeon crawler,
Mhm.
as well as Mansions of
Good.
Madness, Star Wars Imperial Assault, and Mice and Mystics. Hey, wait, is Mice and
Mice and
Mystics what they played on
Tabletop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cool. It's like a little RPG, but you're
It's
mice.
an RPG in a box.
Yeah, and so you
That
like
one looks
have
fun.
So I think there's like a knight mouse, and he uses like a needle. It's great, dude.
Yeah, and there's a wizard who's got like a little ladybug familiar.
Right.
It looks so good. I think one of them has like you could get like a thimble as a helmet, stuff like that, and you use cheese as mana. It's so funny.
Oh yeah, you do use cheese as bad.
Yeah. Where
Yeah.
are there RPGs in a box? Like
Well,
Gloomhaven.
There,
Mice and
it had
Mystics.
It had a few.
What was the other one you mentioned before Mice and Mystics?
Star Wars Imperial Assault.
Yeah, that's one.
Crap, where did it go?
Trail's close.
Trail's definitely close.
Mansions of Madness as well.
Yeah, I think
Speaking of Mansions and Madness.
Uh-huh.
Betrayal at House on the Hill.
That's what Connor just said.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Betrayal is a lot of fun.
The cursed 1, 2, and 0 dice.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I don't know what madmen came up with. Let's put a 1, a 2, and zeros.
How many sessions have kicked off after the third Omen?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because of those dark dice.
Oh man.
I remember there have been a few sessions where the Omen kicked off, like, literally
First time.
the first or second
First
time.
Omen card you
It's
drew?
ridiculous.
Jeez.
It's like, how does that work? It's like, it almost physically shouldn't be able to happen, but...
Yeah, looping back to that strategy versus luck.
Right, yeah.
Session,
Yeah.
I liked the one hunt where it's like the house starts flying. No one's a traitor, but you can get out and escape with a parachute you have to go and find.
Interesting.
I
haven't
I
run
don't
into that one yet.
remember if
First one to
there's...
find a parachute, or
No, I think there's one for everybody, if I remember correctly.
But you have to run to different rooms.
Yeah,
to
and you have to
fire
go and
them.
find one. I think
Yeah.
you might be on a time limit, though. Or
So it's
turn
kind of
limit.
like every man for himself.
Kind of.
Interesting.
Hmm.
So you have so the time limit would be like turn based. Like you have this amount of turns to. There was one that I ran into where, basically, it was my dad. My dad's always the traitor. Whenever, like I'm not even.
I
kidding.
don't
Like,
find that.
whenever
surprising.
I play with, I don't know why, because it's actually randomized, but I don't know why. But he's always the traitor when we play with him. It just happens like that. So we kind of distance ourselves from him and never give him any items.
Yeah, like,
so
hey.
we're like, all right, you go and find stuff over in that corner, and we'll be upstairs.
I'll be over here.
But
well away from you.
but we ran into this scenario where we got teleported to another realm, and he was like this alien overlord. It was like an alien
that
zombie
Baldur's Gate?
overlord. Huh?
Was that Betrayal Baldur's Gate?
No.
Really? That was House on the Hill?
Yep.
Yeah,
that was
there's
Betrayal House on the
There's
Hill.
some bizarre ones in
Man, I
there.
haven't seen that one.
He was like a zombie overlord, and we were transported to an alternate dimension. And every single turn we stayed in that dimension, we took damage. And he had a horde of zombies that each, if you try to run past them, your speed is halved.
Right.
It was an impossible... There's a lot of things where it's very one-sided for the betrayer.
Yeah, and there's also plenty in there that are very one-sided to the survivors.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like there was this one where I was a werewolf, and it should have been easy. Because I was like, oh, cool, I got a lot of these awesome new stats. But
Look at me.
And
but
is that
then
the one where all you have to do is deal a single point of damage to somebody, and they're essentially on your team.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it
That's
was.
brutal.
Yeah,
They once again they were super lucky, so they already had the items that they needed, and they killed me. So, but
Wait,
still- that's still really game. I think I was playing with you with your group, but when the hunt kicked off, I got absolutely shafted because I was stuck in like a line of 3 rooms in the basement.
Oh.
And it was something to deal with like a banshee that moved in a straight line
right.
left to right,
Mm-hmm.
and they spawned it in the basement with me. And
Right.
each time it enters your room, it deals essentially psychic damage to you.
Oh my god.
And it had a ridiculous movement. Which
So
its
wait,
only
one,
option
two,
was
You're
to
like-
hit me.
You hit me.
Right.
Like, okay, bye. Okay, I'm back. Okay, bye. Okay, I'm back.
First in the hunt, that was
Oh man.
good.
Mm-hmm. And that was with the Armands.
Yep.
And I totally didn't know, but I actually work with Emily now.
No kidding.
And I didn't recognize that it was her until like months after working with her, and she didn't realize it either. But,
You're like, hey, wait a minute. We died in that creepy house once.
It was hilarious, dude, because we were like, I feel like I know you. And then she brought up, like, my dad, and then I was like, oh, yeah. Did you ever go to any game nights? And she's like, yeah, this one, we were playing this one game, you know, she started explaining it, and I was like, oh, yeah, I kind of DM'd for you on that. I was like, it was kind of ridiculous. Yeah, right.
We lost together. Every time you play Pandemic.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Applicable board.
I don't think I've ever won a game in Pandemic.
I've gotten really, really close.
It's so
But there's also the version that it's the same idea as Pandemic, but it's a firefight.
Oh, yeah.
And it's called, like, Backdraft or Overdraft.
I know which one you're talking about.
I think it's Backdraft.
Something.
Or something draft.
Fire!
Fire! But yeah.
I will say this about Pandemic. It's an almost eerie pattern to notice every game I play. Whenever you're playing, introducing a new person in the game, that new person is always the first one to name the diseases.
It's so true. It is so true. I think one time I played with my cousins, and they went, it was like, black was Barack Obama, blue was Donald Trump, red was Hillary Clinton, and I don't remember what yellow was, but it was another political figure.
Political influence is spreading.
So it's like, oh, we're just trying to quote click.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can't remember what we named all of ours, but we named them stupid things. Oh, and then, of course, if you ever, like, have you ever played it, Plaguing, or heard of it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always name it stuff like Yo Mama, so it'll say, like, Yo Mama has killed millions.
Of course, it's saying that to you.
Then one time I named it The Big Gay.
Oh my god.
It was pretty funny. It's like the Big Gay is more
I'm picturing
than
like the Titans from Attack on Titan coming through, killing people.
Yeah.
But it's just one of them. Quick, make the walls!
It was like it's more infectious than hepatitis or AIDS or whatever. It's like, oh my gosh.
Oh no.
A terrible person. I must be a terrible person.
And then of course, if you get high enough level, it's like the big gayest there are zero uninfected people in the world. Or the big gay has infected everybody in the world, or something like that. I don't know. It's just fun to make up weird little quirky like Yo Mama and different names like that.
We played Zombicide together.
Or Communism. Right? I've named it Communism as well.
We played Zombicide together, right?
Zombicide?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
You played
okay.
Zombicide?
I have not.
Ooh.
So the cool thing is, so you're allowed to like roleplay a little bit in that. And I used some of the game mechanics against itself because there was a horde of zombies outside, and what we did is, so basically there was like this loading dock, and there was these rooms, and it wrapped around like this, and this was one of the entrances and exits, and we had to go around to acquire an item from this room and go back. And there was a huge horde of zombies outside, and it was growing bigger and bigger.
Oh, that's right, and we used the noise.
So what we... Were you there? I thought that was with my family.
No, I'm pretty sure I was there for this. You guys
I think I
own
told
Zombicide?
you about it. Yeah, we own Zombicide. I think I told
you own second edition, right? The mall version?
I'm not sure. But basically what we did is we made noise over here at the loading dock, and it says that noise attracts the zombies, so all the zombies will go towards the noise. So we were saying that we're banging on the loading dock doors. So then all the zombies hoarded around here, and these guys snuck out and went and acquired the item without any trouble. I mean, of course, a few zombies spawned over here because they spawn at different places, but
No, that was with me. That was with me, 100%.
I remember that my dad was
You
there
sure?
now.
Yeah, I think we played with your dad.
My dad and my mom and Katie were there. And
I'm
I thought that
pretty-
was the only players.
Either that or my cousins and I did the exact same thing one time we played it.
That might be. I mean,
Which I think that we technically broke the rules because the zombies wouldn't have gone around to a door. Because
No, it says they just go towards it says
it.
they go towards the noise.
Yeah, but I think I don't know.
The only rule bending is whether or not you want to decide if banging on the doors would make noise that they could hear.
Well, you can make noise as an action.
Well,
That's an action in the game.
But if you're because you're inside and they're outside, they might.
Maybe
the game creators might be like, well, that's a no. But
I don't know. I don't think that's.
But we like to role play, So
Sure.
we're like, if these are metal doors,
then yeah.
we can make noise,
There was a time I played it with my brother. We played a 2-player game. He died, and we had every single zombie miniature on the map. All of them. The Abomination, all the walkers, all the runners, all the big guys.
It was close to having all of them on for that one. It
was just me left. Thankfully, I'd hit level 2, so I had slippery, so I could move past zombies. So I literally ran around the entire map, collecting what we needed, and left.
It's like
it was nutty.
It's like Dead by Daylight, or not Dead by Daylight, but Dying Light, where you can just jump over them.
Yeah.
Kick them down.
Exactly. That's pretty much what I was picturing. Is I'm running through them.
Right.
Dying Light 2.
Yeah, Zombicide is a fun game though.
There's an RPG version of it, like a medieval one, where you get skills and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called.
That's kind of cool. I would like to play that because that's, I mean.
What's it called?
RPGs are the best.
You're not wrong.
I honestly, I love a lot of board games, but I have to say that RPGs are the best just because it's limited solely to your creation. I mean, it's infinite,
They have a
Invested
space
because you are
version?
putting your own impressions into it.
Exactly, right.
There's a space version now.
There's a space version?
Look at that.
Dude, that would be super cool,
Space
actually.
Ah.
Warhammer 40k version?
Isn't there a Warhammer?
Oh my
40K
gosh.
version just about everything out?
That's true. Warhammer 40k version of Twister.
Ooh. Stab as you sit on, put your hand on a miniature.
Alright, roll to place your
Dude.
hand on.
First, put on the heaviest armor you can buy.
Right.
Zombicide, the normal game, I guess it's not in print anymore, because it is $150 on Amazon now.
Holy crap,
Which is
dude.
definitely not what it was when I got it. Black Plague, that's what it's called. The medieval.
That's actually really cool.
And there's one with a a werewolf variant to them.
If there's a werewolf variant, there's gotta be a vampire variant too, because
They're
pop culture these
I
days.
don't think so, but I don't know. But yeah, Black Plague, which instead of a Molotov, if I recall correctly, has torches.
Nice.
Cause
But I mean, Molotovs would make sense back then as well, because they still had alcohol.
But that has to be 100% alcohol for it to spread properly.
True. They could use lamp oil.
What is Zombicide? Darkside? What is this? There's so many Zombicides. This one looks like another space one.
I love how when we're making points, Connor's over here motioning yes.
Yes.
It's like the Lady Justice or whatever.
Oh, I was thinking of the GIF, Leonardo DiCaprio in The Great Gatsby with the martini.
Oh,
and he's like, Darkside is an expansion to the space one by the look of it.
It's like he's actually over here counting points. He's like, yes, that's a good point. 1 point for you. Yes.
Zombicide must not be in print anymore. They must be making a new edition.
That's crazy.
Arkham Horror got a 3rd edition recently. Did you see that?
Did?
Yeah. And it totally changed everything. Speaking of RPG in the box, though, the Arkham Horror card game is an RPG in the box, basically. Which is pretty sweet. It's basically you make a deck for your investigator.
Okay.
And it has to have one weakness card in it, which one of them is my favorite because it goes throughout the entire campaign you play. And it's For Whom the Bell Tolls, and then there's a second one I don't remember, and then you just straight up die. Is the last weakness I think
heck?
For Whom the Bell Tolls is the last card of the 3. You start out with 1. I don't remember what it's called. And whenever you draw that, you put it to the side, and then you shuffle in the next card. Next time you reshuffle your deck.
Mm.
If you draw that one, then you get the third one. If you draw the third one, your character is dead. And I think that is thematic brilliance. It's so good. Because you get into that, and then you draw that weakness card, and you're like, this is not the time.
Have you ever tried any of the expansions to Settlers of Catan?
I played the C one.
Also, do you say Catan or Catan?
Catan.
Yeah.
I've always said Catan, but I hear a lot of people say Catan.
Well, they can do that. I got nothing.
They can't
That was terrible.
do that.
But,
No.
like 3rd edition
No,
of
mission
Arkham
I've-
Horror looks like this now.
I own a board for that. Never actually played it before.
You've
never played
it?
Catan?
I've never played Catan.
It's really good.
I think the one thing I don't like about it, before you give it praise, is I hate that you can't build anything if you are 2 roads close to someone.
That is
That
kind
is,
of.
you have
it
to
is
be 2
annoying.
roads away from another player's.
It is
settlement
annoying,
to
but
build.
I understand why they do
I
that.
know why they did, but I hate it so much. I think that's my.
But there is a version where there are like knights and stuff, so you can actually fight.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
that's one of the expansions, I think.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called.
Well, I mean, of course, the original has knights, but you
But
just
they're
can't fight.
literally
not
for
a-
points.
Yeah, not a conquest game.
Yeah.
not
And
a
then they
true
they have like a C version.
Yeah, that's
where
the
you
one
can.
I've done. That one's pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't done that one yet, but I've tried I think it's called something like Knights and Cities or something.
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
the one that adds where you can go to war, and it's pretty cool.
Mm.
But I played the ocean one because that one gives you like a bigger map. And my friend Alex has like an older copy of Catan. So it's like the older artwork for it, which in my opinion looks a bit better. Wow. It reminds me of Sheriff of Nottingham for some reason. I don't know why.
That's also another great game.
I've never played it.
You've never played Sheriff of Nottingham?
No.
How many times has my dad brought that to any of our game nights? And
We would always play like Betrayal or
well,
Yeah.
I suppose so. Like, I would play Sheriff of Nottingham, but
I mean, I'm breath of them. I've seen videos of it played, but never played it myself.
I am the master of contraband. Like, every single time, I'll sneak in contraband every single time.
Well,
I
now I,
don't
know
think-
if I ever play it to be like, Tristan, open your bag. Do it.
Well, I mean, of course, I judge based on the person, but like, there are a lot of people you can definitely take advantage of because they'll be like, "Oh no, I trust you," and you're like, "Haha, thanks."
Thanks,
It's almost like I mean, that involves just as much lying as like what's that one that we play with the assassin and the
Coup?
captain? Coup, yeah.
I love Coup.
Coup is amazing. I love games where it's not just what's on the table. You know, there's other stuff going on.
Well, see, like, 2 for me,
Yeah,
I don't
something
like-
kind of like lying or hidden identity game.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like too many hidden identity games because, like, I think it's Resistance is what
Resistance is
it's
so
called.
fun.
I don't like
Yeah.
Resistance.
What?
I don't
Dude,
enjoy it.
that is so fun to me.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
then there's a mix in between Coup and Resistance. So they actually mixed games. Because it's the same
yes,
game
it's like-
creators.
Essentially added teams
So-
to
That's cool.
And I can't remember what it's called, but it is really
It's like
fun. It's more complex.
Coup Reformation.
Something like that, I think.
Yeah, something
'Cause
like that.
I think
But it's kind of almost like a deck building game.
what
as
I
well.
like about Coup is the fact that it's not voting. I don't know what it is about Resistance. I don't like the voting aspect of those. In Mafia, I like it more because it's more thematic to me. Because there's more of a story aspect. You have your storytelling
Yeah.
with it. But with Resistance, I don't like it. I don't know
Well,
what it is exactly.
Yeah.
But I like Coup where it's like you take an action and someone either calls you out on it or they're like, okay, I think you actually have that card.
Well,
Let's
I
see where
mean,
this goes.
Just like with Mafia, I mean, I've the first time I ever played Mafia was we got a deck of cards and we were like, all right, the jacks are
Yeah.
so and so.
Yeah.
So I've always had story based.
It's really the best way to do it.
Yeah, I mean it really is.
Right,
Yeah, I don't prefer the board games like the werewolf. I don't like that.
One Night Ultimate Werewolf or whatever.
Yeah, I don't really
Words are
care for that. I like the original because of the storytelling, but I mean, you could always play a game of Resistance and have a storyteller.
Yeah.
That would actually be a lot of fun.
100%.
And of course, it's always fun to make up a bunch of stupid stuff. That's a fun game to play when you're like at a summer camp or whatever. Mm-hmm. So we would do it and because we would start to get to know each other's character, and so the cabin counselor he'd be like, all right, well this guy over here, because there was this guy he was kind of heavy set, but the thing is he was really open about it and he joked about it himself, and so like
Just
there's this one point.
I'm picturing Chris Farley for some reason.
And honestly, he had that mentality, like he wasn't ashamed, of, and he
with
just,
the tight pants.
Right.
I live in a van
down by the river. But yeah, no. So he was storytelling, and he ended up dying, and he was like. He talked about how he was like bleeding gravy and stuff. Like it's so fun to add humor into the Mafia games for me personally. I mean, but yeah,
it's bleeding gravy.
I've never not won when I was a part of the Mafia team.
Oh really?
I don't think I've ever been a part of the Mafia. I'm usually the storyteller. Because I'm the guy that knows all the rules.
Maybe we should do a live session.
You know what we should play? Is the Quiet Year.
The Quiet Year.
Yeah. So I found out about this pretty recently. But you have a normal deck of cards, and you have one piece of paper, 3 6-sided dice, and a pen. That's it. You decide as a group, it's up to 4 people. You play as both people in a community, as well as you can say you're scientists or deities that want to cause trouble for the community. And you set up a little world for yourself. You're like, okay, we live in a forest, and there's some trees in this forest, and there's a hill, and there's a giant mushroom over here. And you draw it on the piece of paper. And then you decide 3 resources. 2 of them you have plenty of, 1 of them you need more of. And then every turn you draw a card, and there's a little kind of codex of... you start with hearts, which is spring, and then you go to summer, fall, and then winter. And so it's okay, you drew the ace of hearts. You have to add either this or this. And then you draw it and you describe, okay, a stranger comes into town and he's carrying this foreign-looking weapon that he calls a shotgun or something like that. And then you get to decide to start a project to complete something, which is what the dice are used for, to decide how many turns that takes. Or you add a new kind of problem to it. And it's really fun, because we played a game night once, and we had plenty of belts. That was one of the resources we had plenty of.
Belts.
Okay. Belts. We had plenty of food, but we didn't have enough water.
These people's pants weren't falling down,
We then decided, because of
turns and Final Fantasy world then.
Exactly. We decided,
what does my outfit need? More belts.
More belts.
You've already got 7. More belts.
But we decided, there's a demon guarding the water. And then I made a project we sent warriors to go and fight the demon. And we discovered it was a tree with a house in it. And then we had walking fish. And then one of them was born with 1 leg. And he became an iconic figure. He was so beautiful. And then one of our other players killed him. It is the funniest. It can be super funny, or it can be really serious.
So random.
One of them decided we are going to make bras out of belts. I don't know why. Oh, and there was also a giant bear near our city for some reason. Naturally. It was crazy.
Have you ever played Mao?
Oh, yes.
No,
You haven't played Mao.
We don't speak of Mao though.
The
So that's
only
against
rule.
the rules.
The only rule I can tell you is that we aren't allowed to tell you the rules.
Yep.
And that's how the game starts.
That is how the game starts.
You just gotta kind of figure them out as you go. If you tell one of the rules, even if like we were to tell the rules, then we have to remember that for the next time we play, and we have to. I can't say that.
Yeah.
I can't say that. We have to. Something
talk about
happens.
that.
A penalty happens of some sort.
Some not good. You play Egyptian Rat Slap?
Yeah, different names. Egyptian rat screw. Yeah.
Egyptian Rat Screw.
ERS.
You must play it really dangerously. You got like screw between your fingers. That would hurt.
If you don't bleed, was it really a game?
Exactly. Right.
Oh,
What was that? I'm trying to think of what it's called.
If you excuse me, I need to go sharpen the edges of my cards.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, let's go.
All cards must be thrown onto the table.
Oh, my leg! My eye!
Have you ever played Nerds?
No, but I know what it is.
Yes.
Multiplayer solitaire.
Why?
It's been years since I played that one. But
It's fun.
My grandpa used to play Pinochle.
Pinochle.
Yeah, that's like a pretty big Hoosier game.
Okay.
it's the straight up BS.
No, it's different. You have to make a Pinochle deck.
I'm saying for other
Oh,
games.
sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I know it's nothing related to it.
Okay. Yeah. BS is good.
Wait, were you saying actual BS and not BS the game?
No, he's saying BS.
Oh, you do mean BS the game. Okay. I was wondering.
Another one of those deception type.
Yeah.
Until one person gets the entire deck of cards in their hand. You're lying! You're lying! You're lying!
Dude,
go ahead, play your card.
the best
I
thing.
know you're lying.
Set it down. Wait like 5 seconds. It's their turn next. You're lying.
Have you ever played? I mean, I'm sure
I got
you've.
to that point in one of those games where the person at all four, any person's turn, you just pull up 4 of his cards and just sit there and look at him.
I'm waiting.
So I'm sure you've played Spoons.
Yep.
Have you played Ultimate Spoons?
I've not played Ultimate Spoons. I have played spoons with plastic knives before.
That's fun. Ultimate Spoons is the same as Spoons, except for
Spoons are hidden throughout the room.
a person. Yeah, exactly. A person separate from who's playing the game goes and hides them around the house. So once somebody finishes, of course, unless they want to stay there and make you guys wait for a little while, then everybody just dashes and starts running around the house like, where the freak is it? If somebody finds it, like, they tackle each other, like, because you have to bring it back to the table.
Yeah.
Right.
So
The best part is when you add the floor is lava to said.
oh my gosh, dude!
We did that. You had to jump across chairs to find
Ultimate
the
Mega Spoons.
Mega spoons.
Ultimate Mega
It's like
Spoons.
a giant soup spoon.
Oh my gosh.
Ultimate Mega Spoons Deluxe Pro.
Deluxe. Yeah. It's like
People are
when you-
sword fighting.
It's like I don't know. Just choose one of the titles that they came up for with all those different Skyrim versions.
Skyrim
super,
Alexa.
Yeah, the super
best
special.
version.
Bringing paintball to it, because why not?
You like have an airsoft gun, you hold it beneath the table, Adam.
Yeah, drop it.
Oh my gosh.
As they start to stand
Okay.
up, don't even think about it.
So we are going to create the most epic game. Okay,
Oh,
so it's
no.
going to be Ultimate Spoons.
Okay.
Floor is lava. Nerf. If you get shot, you have to go back to the table before you can grab a spoon.
Oh no.
Dude, that game would never end.
No.
That would be so cool, though.
Unless you're playing, because then you wouldn't hit anybody. Oh!
The first person who gets shot becomes the lava worm.
Oh no!
It's a game that we created. It's you get in a sleeping bag and you crawl and you grab people as they're playing The Floor is Lava. And if you can grab them and pull them into the sleeping bag, then they're
No,
the next.
just onto the ground.
Oh yeah,
what
that's
we did.
true. But we would
went all the way.
we would go all the way. We would pull them into the bag like we
Because why
ate you.
not?
Exactly, right. So if you got them onto the floor, then they were the next lava worm. So dude, you have like
Dude, the things we come
you
up
have
with
like
at 2 in the morning.
Exactly. You have like 10 different games going on at one time. You're like, I don't
Everyone's
even know
like-
what the rules are.
What are the rules to spoons again? They've got like 50 cards in their hand.
We should actually do that at the next game night. Not this one because we're doing tag. Oh my gosh. Throw sardines in there, bro. So the
How
first
does that
wait,
work?
listen, the first person to finish grabs all the spoons, goes and hides somewhere. Then the last person to get I mean, I guess that'd have to be separate from the other ones because the other ones is more like, you know,
At that
it's a
point, then,
race.
What's the point of having the spoons?
Yeah, well, because
It's just,
the,
you know,
the
have
last
one person outside the game hiding.
Yeah, that's true. But also, because you know how in sardines, if you find the person, you can decide to keep walking
Mhm.
and pretend like you didn't find them. You could grab a spoon and keep walking.
That's
I
fair.
suppose.
Yeah.
So the last person to find them isn't actually. They still have a spoon.
Yeah.
It's not so much hiding as
Deception.
it's from the.
Deception.
Sleight of
It's
hand.
like right. Oh man.
Better wear long sleeves playing this game. Spoon just.
Heck,
I
go,
have nothing.
you know, go ahead and throw some.
Do you like the table? Just Assassin's Creed spoon. Oh, spoon.
Dude, honestly though, that Nerf version, we should actually bring that to.
I'm
to
still
game night.
picturing you just under the table. What is that movie? It's like a World War II movie where there's a German and I think they're British or American are doing that, and they have like the guns pointing at each other under the table while they're
I
talking.
mean, there's always Star Wars with Han Solo and.
Right, but there's one specific World War II movie. It might be Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. I
That's.
think. Or no, that's
Not
not.
World War
no,
II.
that's not World War II. Shut up.
What
is it?
That's Oklahoma.
Yes. I don't remember what it is, but they're like, I have it pointed at your crotch, like they both do, and
Oh
they're
my
like
God,
sitting there
what the heck?
waiting, basically. That's all I think of
Make
when
one wrong move. Your manhood is gone forever.
Yeah, basically.
Oof. Dang, dude.
Gosh.
So, that was an interesting detour.
We weren't talking about games, none. We were technically on topic, but not at all.
I think we've kind of trashed the whole board game idea and just gone with games in general,
Pretty much.
and I'm totally okay with this.
Okay.
Well, I mean, as we've mentioned, there's so much overlap between the
Mhm.
various. So
Do we want to talk about Warhammer 40k for a second, though? And how crazy it is? Like,
I don't prefer Warhammer 40k. I don't know.
Okay.
That's not
I
my
just
kind
wanna
of.
talk
That's
about
not my
that.
kind of role playing.
I
game.
think it's cool.
It is cool.
Like, as a miniatures game. I think miniature games are
Yeah.
awesome. I played Star Wars X-Wing. I love it.
I wouldn't call it as much of a RPG as miniatures.
No, yeah, I call it a miniatures
Yeah.
game. But do we want to talk about how much money you have to put into the game to actually
true.
start to play? Because
And if you want to
have
be good,
you have to buy all the figures.
you gotta paint
You
them.
then have to paint them.
You
That's
gotta buy
expensive.
the supplies.
gotta
the
buy-
supplies alone are a fortune.
Yeah. You gotta buy the base rulebook. You gotta buy the codex for whatever race you're playing. Yeah,
Dude,
it's
actually,
crazy. Which they update.
heads up to any thieves. Don't go to the rich people's house. Go to the nerd's house. Grab all their miniatures, and you are a freaking millionaire
You're doing
at that
it,
point.
Sandro.
So,
which if it's a nerd's house, it's actually like puts investment into painting
Right.
the figures.
right,
Ooh.
Get some value for those.
exactly, yeah. Sell
Like-
each one for like $30.
Like, I think the Warhammer 40k stuff is cool, and I would love it, because having those as collectibles, I think is awesome. Ooh, which brings me to something I will talk about in a moment. But it's like, that's so expensive! But my point with that is, do you guys remember when Artifact came out, Valve's card game, at all? No, just me, when I played it? Okay. Basically, Valve wanted to make a card game, and Richard Garfield designed it. And the game was cool. I liked how you played it, but the idea behind it was not like Magic the Gathering Arena or every other digital card game where you use an in-game currency to buy packs, you would have to have used real money to buy them, which sure people do anyway, but as a pure way to do it, it's weird because you don't get the satisfaction of like having the cards. That's the point of buying them in real life, is you have the cards and it's
just
collection
as much
as well.
about collecting them.
And there's an actual value to that because it's a physical thing you have versus on your screen.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say about that. And that's it. We could theoretically play Warhammer 40k on Tabletop Simulator.
That's true. Yeah. And, I mean, yeah, because you
We
can
should do
download
that.
mods
We should do that.
at some point. That's more of like after you move thing. No.
Probably.
Because we can do that online. So.
I want to be Space Marines. Just saying it now. Wait, is there any... Can I just be the Inquisitors?
I'll be the Horde.
I forgot what they're called. The guys with the gene stealers. They're nasty.
Gene stealers. Dude, I
They
hate when people
literally-
steal my jeans.
They literally... As much as I haven't played 40k, I know the lore fairly well because I think it's cool. It's like xenomorphs, but they like insert their genes into you, and it morphs you into one of them.
It xenomorphs you into one?
Well,
I love that quick moment where you were like, no, you're not getting it. And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh. No.
so I'd be like, no, it's like that because chest pressure.
You were like,
Subtract a point.
you were like, right? It's like, Finn was like actually trying to have a real conversation, and he's like, oh, he's just not getting it, and then he's
I
like,
don't understand.
and then the pun hits, and he's like,
Wheels
Yeah.
turning, but the hamstring moving.
Jeez. Yeah, those things are nasty.
So what would you say is one of your favorite board games to play? And I'm asking you guys this because I need to think really hard. This is a hard question. All right, let's start with what board game genre you
That's
like
hard.
to play the most.
I say for this we exclude RPGs in a box because that's its own
And
thing per se.
yeah,
I'm saying per se a lot today.
Per se.
Okay.
per se. Percy
Percy
Jackson.
and Lightning Thief.
Copyright.
Peter Jackson. Lord of the Rings. Hobbit. Carrot.
The development of transitions.
It's like that. The more you know.
It's like we should create a YouTube page just like
How
to
to do
create transitions.
Let's give him a slow play transition.
Right.
Percy Jackson. Just slowly Percy Jackson.
A little bit of an echo. Jackson.
Carrot. Jackson. I think my echo's broken.
Oh yeah, from Phineas and Ferb. My evil space station, cookie
Oh, yeah.
station. And then, what about the cheese, wombat cheese.
I think my echo's broken. I don't know, that's hard though. I like worker placement a lot. Because those are very much so a deny you, but if I want to deny you this, then I don't get this thing I want, which...
Like we were just playing the other day.
Yeah, Lords of Waterdeep. I like that because
Yeah,
there's a lot more strategy to it than other ones. Sure, a lot of times it's like, you draw a card, but even still, it's more like, I deny you here, but if I do that, you're probably going to take the thing I want, so maybe I just want to go for what I want, and let you have that for now. And then crush you next turn.
I think I might have to say party games.
Disgrace.
Because they're just... I love... In case you haven't noticed, I mean, it is literally, part of our podcast, but I love randomness. I love just insane, what the heck just happened kind of randomness, and that you can usually find that in party games. So...
I've had many mini game of a Munchkin go awry for exactly.
Right, yes. Munchkin, oh my gosh. I'm surprised we haven't talked about Munchkin, but that is a fantastic game.
Munchkin's more of a mediocre for me, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
They came out with Munchkin Avengers, but the thing is that the cards weren't funny.
Were they
That's
not?
what I've been hearing.
That's the unfortunate thing. Yeah, like most of the Munchkin cards, they have a bunch of puns in them and stuff,
Yeah,
which is
they're-
straight up
They're
my
made
alley.
to be fun.
Yeah, trying to think of any example, but I can't.
Crabs.
I don't know what the pun is though. I don't know.
It's a joke because it's like crabs, but it's also not.
Yeah, it's like
That
one of
kind of
the
crab.
enemies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like
Oh yeah,
crabs.
yeah. Crabs like
Crabs,
the
but
enemy.
not exactly this.
Crabs
kind
like
of
the
crab.
enemy, and then
Like the outright
it'll-
image is like a scratch. So.
and then it'll say some of the effects, and it'll describe like symptoms of crabs.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So it'll have fun puns and stuff like that. But yeah, the Avengers version didn't have any puns. It was just like, that's
the
that's
Avengers,
Thanos.
guys.
He's Thanos. Watch out.
Good job, guys. You did it. Woo.
Are you a murderer? Because you just killed the enthusiasm of this game.
Right.
You know what else is a fun game while we're still thinking of this is Takedo.
That's the one with the ships and the.
No, Takedo is it's literally probably one of the most relaxing games ever.
I feel like I played this.
Yeah,
Oh! They
you
put this on
travel
tabletop.
From, yep, you
Yeah.
travel from Edo or somewhere to Edo, which is modern day Tokyo in Japan, and it's like a little path. And the person in last goes first,
And you do stuff like.
and you go to a hot spring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoever
yep,
gets the
okay.
best
Hot
food, it's
spring.
whoever
and you
has
keep
like
track of how many stops you made at
yeah,
each
and you have points, and it's whoever had like
Yeah.
the funnest journey to get there.
the most experienced.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Until you play with my brother, and for some reason I think we were doing something wrong, but he managed to stay in the back the whole time, and then just stopped at every stop as after we all got to the inn, and so it just became boring because
There
we
are
literally could not stop him.
There are certain characters that will allow you to hold back and stuff,
No,
or like.
it was more so how everyone else was moving, so no one would be able to stay in the back, and he literally just stayed in the back the whole time. Couldn't do anything.
Yeah, and because once you stay in the back, things
Yeah.
have been taken, but whatever hasn't been taken, you can do the rest of them.
Yeah.
It's like thing.
I think that's my only problem with that is sure it's relaxing, but if someone just goes first, goes to the backmost position, and does that over and over again, they have the highest chance of winning typically. Just a bit of a bummer, but
Unless it's things that don't add up together, like
yeah,
they stop at one hot spring, and through the course of the game they might stop at like 3 hot springs, which is not going to give you the bonus, because I think you have to have like 5 hot springs, and then
no, it's whoever's the most. I believe whoever is meant to
yeah,
be the most.
sure, but then you'll have like 3 paintings, and
That's
so
what I always
it's
like to go
it's
for.
broken, but
I like to complete all the paintings because they're fun, and you feel actually accomplished because you make a little painting,
Yeah, you have
and you're like, yeah.
yeah, you gotta go for the biggest paintings, and then
Or the temple. Just money.
actually, yeah, I did win by just dropping a buttload of money on the temple, because I was the samurai who starts with a lot of money.
Yeah, he starts.
And
with
then
most
he-
money.
You get money easily,
Yeah.
and so I would just go and drop a buttload of money at the temple,
Give me
Pretty cool.
points.
and there's also one that
It's like that-
you get bonus points for donating to the temple.
Yeah.
I think I think you get
Check.
2 points instead of 1
yeah.
for each coin.
It's like that meme that from an anime. It's like dropping the stuff, and it's like, I'll take this, please.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm.
I don't know what it's from, but I just see it all the time. It's like, here you go. I think that's probably the most relaxing game I played. Except for when my brother plays, so I refuse to play it with him. Because he's just full on, I am staying in the back and not having fun.
So
I
what-
want to win.
So what was your favorite game genre?
I've don't really know if it really counts as a genre, but now that I think about it, I think I get the most enjoyment out of games that involve like some aspect of deception.
Okay.
So
yeah.
you know, like Mafia or
Yeah.
like Coup. And it's on an odd note of that, one of my favorites, Ticket to Ride.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
If you play that with that type of that mindset,
Yeah.
so I'm not actually going here as I'm working my way around the edge.
Don't
Right,
mind
yeah.
me.
Man, I've got nothing to play. I'm just gonna drop a 6 and leave it.
Oh, that's not where I want to go. Whoops.
Oh, is that getting way? Does that get in your way? Oh, I'm sorry.
Love the tabletop where you slam it. All of the trains. Oh my gosh. Talk about like the worst. You know what game I like a lot?
Rage quit.
I like chess. It's not my favorite game, but I love playing chess.
It's fun. I do like games that are cerebral, like chess, and I mean, really, lots of strategy games are, but some are more cerebral than others. You know.
I think I'll say. No, we said Arkham Horror card game was technically an RPG in box. I was gonna say that's my favorite.
I would mention like the series games like Forbidden Island, Forbidden Desert, and now
Right.
this guy.
Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun, but I think the only problem I have with them is that it inevitably boils down to the most experienced player playing the game,
Sure.
and everybody else just kind of, well, what do you think we should do?
Right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Pandemic never feels
which is
like that.
Which is why
Yeah.
I like how they did it on the tabletop. You know, it seemed like they were all just kind of having fun and just doing their own things. Dr. Mick Liquor.
Freaking Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk is the best, dude.
God.
Dang, dude.
So stupid.
It was.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that's a great game. I honestly don't think I could choose a single favorite game. I think I'd have to make a list.
You know what we need to play though? I have Pandemic Legacy, the second one. For that, we should play that sometime.
Pandemic is the worst.
You shut your mouth. Pandemic is awesome.
Dude, it's so hard.
That's the point. It's like Dark Souls.
It's like the Dark Souls of board
Board
games.
games, yeah.
Oh no.
Dude, everything has a Dark Souls. Pandemic is the Dark Souls of board games. Cuphead is the Dark Souls of 2D platformers.
Right.
New marketing slogan. It's a Dark Souls of board games.
There's a Dark Souls board game, actually.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Why?
Because Dark
'Cause people are
Souls
masochists.
is awesome. I am not a masochist. Dark Souls is awesome. I say that every time
That's a
I'm
statement that
around.
contradicts itself.
Whenever I'm around Tristan, I go, I love Dark Souls. And then right after, I'll be like, I'm not a masochist. Let's see. Dark Souls board game.
I'm
That's
only
good.
thinking of Googling.
That's a good statement. I'm not a masochist, but
There's an expansion for it now. Holy crap. I don't know much about it. I know it's a thing though. That's all I got. They're different classes.
There was this old board game called Nightmare, and it was with a VHS tape.
yes, yep.
Yeah, and were you there that time that we played it here?
I think it was.
Yeah, I think because I feel like it was you and Cheney.
Yep.
That was here when we played it that one time. That was before we got rid of our VHS player. But man, that was years and years
VHS
ago.
game. Wow.
But yeah, it was VHS. So you play different. Like I think you'd pause the video. At
I was gonna say
certain
you
points.
have to.
It'd be a running timer.
Oh.
Right. Yeah.
And it would pop up
And
every
then
once in a while, and you just have to stop whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But you
So,
only had the
whoever's
timer on the video to complete the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
and,
it's like
but you all lost.
and whoever's player its turn was like sometimes it'd be your turn, and then the VHS would be like, all right, stop, whoever's turn it is right now, this happens to you. It was really fun.
They would call us to like the oldest in the group, the youngest in the group,
That's
Right. Yeah.
and you would have to respond to the video, and there was always some way you had to like some
Do
specific
something.
response you had to give.
I love Dead of Winter, the crossroad cards in that. Basically, whenever it's your turn, the player to your left draws a crossroad card, and if the condition is met on it, something happens. One of them is if a player sneezes, or if a player yawns, then something happens. I love it.
That's kind of like I can't think of the name right now. Literally, we were just talking about the game we played last Tuesday, the party game. Quelf. Yeah. So Quelf will have the most fun thing about Quelf to me is the different rules. Like literally, it'll be like so sometimes
where we couldn't talk on our turn.
Right. So it'll have some things where it'll be like, all right, you get to pick a word that nobody else can say throughout the rest of this game, and so it'll be like dice, or one. Do they have? I think they have. No, it's like so you would say like cards. So somebody would be like, hand me that, and then it'd be like, the red one.
Can't they say card? You said cards.
Okay, well, yeah. So you get the idea, though. Yeah. But so, and then there are different things like the last game that we played. You couldn't talk if it wasn't your turn, and then
then you did the quiz one. Yeah.
And then we did a quiz one where it went
around the table.
It's like round robin, so around the table, and so the next people they could only use sign language to describe what was going on, and we were like, we don't understand you. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're saying.
I was surprised they didn't just write it down.
Well, because it says you have to use sign language to communicate.
Yeah.
So if you were to write it down, that would be a penalty.
That's mean.
And I don't know that other people thought of that, but I was looking out for that in case it happened.
That's meaner than my homebrew monster. That's all I'm saying. I don't care how many
It is
times
fun, though.
Well, I mean, that was all fun games until we got to the hide and seek where nobody could talk while
right.
looking for them.
And that was the next thing, is it was their turn next, and they were the ones who were hiding. And so it said that they had to pick an opponent to find them, but the thing is that it was like they picked an opponent, and they were the first ones to know about it. But then we went through this process of trying to decide if we were hunting for them too. And then finally we were like, oh crud, it says the first team back, or the first player back, the first player to find them gets a bonus. So we're like, yes. And so we all just freaking dashed out of there. It's so fun.
And you can't say anything.
And you can't say anything. So we would be walking around and be like, like violently pointing like, no, they're not over here. But it was a lot of fun, dude.
I like to, in Dead of Winter, though, if you play with the traitor, which you should, because that was stupid, even if you get voted out of the colony, if you're not the traitor, you get a new set of rules to play by, and you become a wanderer. Basically, you just run around the locations, and you can kill the other player's people.
Oh my goodness.
And it doesn't matter, because you're not part of the colony anymore, and you're like, well, too bad.
Whoops.
Sorry. It's also got the Dice of Death.
The Dice of Death.
Yeah. Where it's got it's a 12-sided. I think it has 3 blanks, 3 wounds. And more wounds, actually, probably. A frostbite, which gives you that character a wound every turn.
No.
And they only can get hit 3 times.
Yeah.
Or the zombie bite, which kills you instantly. If you're moving into a space with another survivor, I forgot exactly what rule. I think it's you have to do a thing. Oh no, if there are 3 survivors, the bite will go to the next one with the lowest charisma score. And the next person here decides. Oh no, what is you roll the dice again, or the third person decides to immediately kill the other guy, because otherwise the bite will spread again and they'll be dead. It's so brutal. It is a dice of death.
Huh.
Lost many a poor characters with that.
Mini-Mac.
Except for the dog. The dog cannot be killed by that.
Oh. Or the zombie one?
In Dead of Winter.
Yeah, but the zombie one you're saying?
The zombie, but I don't think the dog can catch it.
Interesting.
I don't know why there's a dog in the game. Everything else about the game is like super serious, and there's a freaking stunt dog with a cape.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
I don't know why it's in there, but it is. In case you want to be a dog in the zombie apocalypse.
Some creators
this game's
random.
Or they've seen I Am Legend one too many times and are like, we need a dog.
Yeah.
Max.
You know the movie that predicted Batman versus Superman?
What?
Yeah, there's a poster when he's walking like at the start of the movie, and it's the Batman versus Superman, almost the exact same logo, and this was made way before that. Because what I Am Legend was 2006.
Dude, it's actually creepy how many things The Simpsons predict. Have you looked at some of those predictions? Like literally, they had one about 2020. Like they had like this virus outbreak, and then they started rioting, and then there were killer bees. I'm like, okay, are you kidding me right now?
Check it. Oh god.
it's like this is kind of weird.
You're like Matt Groening.
I mean, there's some people who are like legitimately that think he's a time traveler, dude. It's funny though.
That's absolutely nuts.
I mean, I guess after what, like
kind of like all those
30
jokes
years.
you see on the internet now of time travel come back to 2028.
Right.
What year is it? 2028. Has it happened yet? You're gonna need to narrow it down a bit.
I like all the ones where it's like time traveler comes back and they're like, what game are you playing? This game? Oh, the original or the remake or the remaster?
Right.
Some of them you're like, if only. Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning is getting a remaster. I'm excited for that. Yeah, they announced it.
You know she could remaster? Time Shift. Time Shift was a fun game.
Okay.
So Time Shift, basically, the idea is that you are a soldier, and you have this suit that allows you to, shift time. So you can pause it. You can do a different.
Hold on, slow down. I was not expecting that.
You can do a series of different things. You can pause time. You can fast forward time. You can rewind time. And I think there's one other. I can't remember what that is, but you can do different things to affect time. And it's like a first-person shooter, but you're also able to like affect time as you're fighting these creatures. So if you make a mistake, instead of like, I mean, I guess they do still have checkpoints, but instead of a checkpoint, instead of like being like, okay, I'm not gonna have to reset, you just rewind time, and you're like, that was a bad action. I'm gonna rewind time and go at it this way.
Prince of Persia: Sands of Time game.
I haven't played that, but
ooh, it's good.
But I really wish they would remaster it because the graphics are kind of janky, and I don't know. I feel like it could flow smoother, but
yeah, because
it'd be really cool.
Sands of Time.
And the suit is really
if
awesome.
I remember correctly, because if you drop to 0 hit points and you had a charge left in the Dagger of Time, you could rewind however many charges back you wanted. Which is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
The suit was really cool. This is what the suit looks like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the Clone Commandos, which deserves a remaster. Just saying.
I thought they were. I thought they had talked about that.
It deserves it.
It does.
That is not the best Star Wars game, but it's pretty close, in my opinion.
You know what the best is?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Watch this. I'm gonna trigger him. The newest Battlefront 2. Actually, the newest Battlefront 1. It's the worst game, dude.
Yeah.
No, I actually do like Battlefront 2 because at launch, it sucked. Sure. But now they've adjusted it and it's better.
Have they taken the pay to win out?
Yeah, they took it out
entirely.
Yeah, entirely. After people started complaining about it.
Well, because it caused like some laws to be brought up about gambling in video games.
Yeah.
Like that became a thing. Thanks to that. So EA has not had it good. That and Anthem.
Right?
Like, man.
the thing is, I like the idea of what they were trying to do with Anthem.
Anthem, it had so much potential. They squandered it.
Until, they turned it into essentially Destiny with power armor.
And having played Anthem a bit, it's got so many problems. Not good. Like I saw a thing, it was like
You're one of those chumps who bought it.
Yeah, like
Ha!
early,
So was
like
I.
last. I bought it last year
Jumps.
because there was a physical copy of it, and it was on
Right,
sale for
yeah.
like $5. So
Oh, okay. Well,
I was like,
that's
may
not
as
too
well.
bad. Did you
Yes,
did
yeah.
you like pre-order it and everything?
No.
Okay.
But I did pick up close to full price because at the time I hadn't heard the reports of all the problems with it, and
Right.
I've been a fan of BioWare for
Yeah,
years.
yeah. That's gotta
I
be
actually-
that's a big letdown.
unpopular
there.
I was-
opinion.
So I was trying to get a chance to see what their new title was going to be. And
Right.
unfortunately,
I'm interested
Whatever.
about Bethesda's new space game.
Field.
Starfield or something like that. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because they announced it like 2 years ago now.
Yeah. That would be 2 years.
It's been a while.
Because that was when they also announced 76. But,
We don't talk about that.
even as a non-Fallout fan, I won't talk about it.
Yeah, we don't talk about 76.
Unpopular opinion though, I like Dragon Age Inquisition.
I'll agree with you there. I don't mind it.
I haven't tried
A lot
it.
of people didn't like it because the main plot is close up demon portals. But to me,
That's
it felt
a
more.
game. That's
It felt to me that was more of this is a base to get you in here, but the story was more about you as the leader of the Inquisition.
Yep.
That was the story.
the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects it.
Nobody expects it.
Nobody
That's why
expects
no
the
one liked
Spanish
it because
Inquisition.
they didn't expect it.
But
it's
One
cool
of the biggest
'cause
things
you-
I enjoyed about that was just how absolutely broken some of the subclasses could be.
That's also true. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I always played as the warrior for that reason. Had a broken as hell Reaver character, had a broken as hell champion.
Gosh.
It's the if you haven't played the champion, you can essentially have
Like
a
the-
wide array of abilities that just make you straight up invincible.
Pretty much, yeah. Because warriors are balanced to where they have an armor before their health, because your health doesn't regenerate. Mages have a shield you can cast on yourself, makes you immune to damage for a little bit of time. And rogues just dodge things and
Yeah.
parry things.
Yep.
Because like my party
Yeah,
consisted
they essentially have
of,
stealth.
I think I went with Blackwall, the Grey Warden.
Yep.
The dwarf, I forgot his name.
Fair.
Oh no! I had the mage dude with the mustache, and then I swapped him out for a different mage that I met.
Dorian?
Yeah, Dorian. And then I had the spirit guy, ghost dude, Cole.
Cool.
Yeah. And that was like my main party that I would take with me places, which is cool. But like doing that and then going back to your Inquisition keep and sitting on the chair and making, like, judging people.
And being inquisitive.
Yes. Very inquisitive.
And like the side missions you could run from the war table.
Yeah. Which I thought that was weird. Those like, it was more like the mobile game thing where it's like this will take 30 minutes.
Yeah, but
But I
while
didn't-
it's running, you can
Yeah,
go off into the
you
wilderness.
literally just have that, and then it feels
Dude.
good to come back from exploring somewhere and doing quests and have something else to have complete.
Yeah.
I just gotta say, I'm so glad that they brought Halo Master Chief Collection to the PC. Because I've always been a fan of the Halo universe, but I've never had the ability to experience it really.
Well,
Because
Halo originally was going to be for PC only,
Yeah.
and then they made it PC and Xbox for the first one, and then after that,
And that became the Xbox staple.
and then Gears of War came out, and that also became an Xbox staple because Gears is cool. You played Gears of War?
I
I've
will say
seen.
I've only played the first three. I haven't played any beyond that.
I played Judgment.
I feel like
and
Gears
first
of
one.
War is the Fast and Furious of the gaming universe.
It's quickly becoming there. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, way overmade. All
But-
explosions and action, and not as much actual content.
I'd say Assassin's Creed is getting close to that.
That's
yeah, they
fair.
are.
With just the number of
Mhm.
titles they're putting out.
Yeah.
Call of Duty
Oh.
too is
I mean,
like
there is a
big,
lot of cool story though that goes into
Oh.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it's
I think
one of my favorite game universes.
yeah, I think
I can't get into it.
they're getting close to that, except for they do still have good storyline. I feel like Fast and Furious is just like, yay, cars, boom! It's like
I've never
like-
seen one. I don't intend to.
Yeah, my only problem with the Assassin's Creed series is when they switched from like what you saw in 4 and Black Flag, where it's just
That was
it kind of kept the original Assassin's Creed combat style to just straight up RPG numbers game.
yeah.
It's just that was a bit. When we switched from that into the Origins, it was
Well, I
a
think
bit too
like,
dramatic of a.
I think the
switch.
problem too is now it's less stealthy assassin and more. Like there were literally
battles.
100 on 100 battles in Odyssey, which
Yeah,
sure that's a cool mechanic, but that's not
they're really kind of getting away from what it used to be.
Assassin-
Yeah,
E.
yeah.
Assassins
Yeah,
don't
especially if you're-
do that.
like me and are trying to spec your character to the stealthy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, oh yeah, you have
It
to
still
go
does-
do this.
It
Straight
still does
battle.
have that, but I feel it's kind of like
It's like it's there.
these recent games are like the dark or
Don't you dare say the Dark Souls.
no. These last few games
Don't
are
you do
like the Batman Arkham Knight series or game, where they brought out the Batmobile and it's really really cool, but I feel it. Lots of people feel like that's 90% of the story is being in the Batmobile and blowing crap up.
Hey, look at this new thing that we threw in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
As we shove it down your throat.
right. And so
Just
that's
like
kind
the
of
tongue depressor.
right. Full
It all
circle!
comes back to tongue depressors. I sense a conspiracy here. All game developers
Our doctors.
No, all game developers test their games using tongue depressors.
Also, they're doctors.
Also, they're doctors.
Doctor game developer person.
Doctor Game Developer. Hi, Doctor Game Developer here. Give my cutting edge new treatment.
So it is getting close to that time there. So,
Tongue depressors.
tongue depressors.
Shove the content down their throats.
You will love this content. No.
Make them say, ah.
Talking about shoving stuff down your throat. Guys, if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a like. If you'd like to see more, go ahead and subscribe. And share us with your friends, because maybe they want to see some insanity, or rather hear some insanity as well. Connor, thank you for joining us today. It was
Absolutely,
a lot
thanks
of
for
fun.
having me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do hand
It was-
motions too.
Yeah,
now.
hand
Like
motions.
Connor does.
Because you guys can definitely see our hand motions, you know.
We're also joined by these lovely little minifigures.
Yes, the
From
minifigures are
last
here.
night.
And
Oh wait, were you dead?
oh, I'm not really dead, but
Not
Guys-
dead yet.
I'm not quite dig it. Also, stay tuned for hopefully
It's D&D.
our D&D
No,
session. Our first D&D session is
That's
going to be
copyright.
released really soon here.
soon.
I know we've been saying that we are working on it, but
But we
we've
are.
we are. We've been recording. We've been
Just haven't
working
been
on,
uploading.
and some things have not worked the way we've wanted them to. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see about those. And yeah, once again, thank you guys for watching this video. Voice crack and everything, and tongue depressors.